Late Tai Sholari once said that life, if it's going to be abundant, must have plenty of hills and vales, plenty of sunshine and rough weather. It must be rich in obfuscation and perspicacity. Definitely, life will throw you its challenges, and when life's challenges come, some will fold, some will break, some will even commit suicide. But in spite of life's challenges, there are some strong characters who face it squarely and fight it, and at the end of the day conquer and become very much successful. And the guest on the program fits the bill perfectly. This is Breaking Barriers on the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lagos Channel 10, the station of excellence. And that is a program, is a wonderful program that you would not like to miss at any time. Thank you for being there. You will get to meet my guest on this program very soon. But before then, this is an opportunity for you to advertise your goods and services on this beautiful program. And when you do, you will see profit coming down in torrents. Before you meet my guests, let's watch this. We'll be back. You're welcome back. You're still on to the program, Breaking Barriers on the Nigerian Television Authority. I still remain Abayomi Dayo Adeniji, your anchor on the program. My guest is a strong character who has faced so many challenges, challenges that others will face and they will be broken, challenges that others will face and they will never return to normal again. But my guest has faced it all and she is here today. She is a role model for others. Before we meet her, let's watch this small insight into her background. We'll be back. Oluwatobi Olawode started life as a normal girl child in a regular Nigerian family, growing up with two other siblings and her parents, until her visiting maternal uncle defiled her at the age of 8. This was the beginning of multiple rape crimes committed against Toby by family and other unknown men in a society where she was supposed to be protected and treasured. She was so much abused and traumatized that she attempted suicide 3 times at the age of 8. At the secondary school level, she got impregnated and her education stopped. So, no marriage, no education, and no job. Everything seemed to have grounded to a halt in her life, with no hope for better life. Today, Oluwatobi Olawode has BSc in International Relations and Diplomacy, professional and higher diploma in aviation management. She is also a graduate chartered of the Chartered Institute of Public Management of Nigeria, among other professional qualifications. She has won many international awards. Toby is the founder of Every Child Initiative and now married. How did she survive the abuse and downturns to attain success? Let's watch. That's a peep into the background of my guest. My guest today on the program is here seated live and direct. And I'm having in the studio Oluwatobi Olawode, a child safety advocate, humanitarian, peace advocate, and serial volunteer. I think she is a humanist. Oluwatobi Olawode, you are welcome onto Breaking Barriers.
Thank you, Mr. Dayo.
Who are you?
I am myself. I am me. I'm a strong woman. I'm a fighter, a warrior, a conqueror. I stand and I'm creating a safe space for children because I feel it is everybody's business. And also, I believe it shouldn't hurt to be a child. I never planned to be a child safety advocate. Child safety advocates are people or certain individuals who are taking it upon themselves to preach child safety in some areas of life. It could be in the area of child labor, it could be child trafficking, it could be on child marriage, but my own focus is on child sexual abuse.
Mm.
Letting people know that child marriage is bad, this is the negative effects, these are the consequences. Telling them child labor is wrong, these are the consequences. So, our own duty is to preach to the world.
So why did you choose to be a child safety advocate?
At age 8, an event happened in my life, took place, that changed everything about me completely. And it also changed the direction of my destination in life. And that was the case of sexual abuse I encountered at age 8. I was sexually abused.
At age 8?
Yes, I was defiled by my maternal uncle,
Wow.
and that's my mother's younger brother. And when it happened as a child, literally I know it's wrong, but I couldn't get help. The case was swept under the carpet because it involves a family member.
Mm.
And my mom, who I felt should know better, believes, because the person involved is her brother and it's going to cause a lot of chaos. So there were threats from that part, like keep quiet, don't tell anybody, if you speak out, this is what I'll do, nobody must know about it, this and that. And then, unfortunately, psychologically, I was down.
First, how did you get exposed to that uncle? Do you live with him or does he live with your family?
Okay, the first event, that was in 1997, April 26th, around 11:50.
You remember the date?
Yes, 11:59 p.m. My last sibling celebrated his fourth birthday, and he came to also, celebrate with the family, and he slept in the children's room. It happens to be our room, and that was all.
When it happened, was your mom aware? What was her response? How did she handle the situation?
She knew immediately, because after he finished, he satisfied his lustful desire. I ran out of the room weeping, and fortunately my mom came out from her own bedroom to use the restroom, and she met my body all stained, so she doesn't need anyone to tell her what had happened as a mother, and who is an adult. So she swung into action. I was dragged back into the room. She dragged me back into the room, beat me, fighting her brother, all of that, and that was how it ended.
Wow. That was how it ended?
That was how it ended, like that scene.
Yes.
Our intervention,
Okay.
that was how our intervention ended. And the next one was calling me, you don't tell anybody, nobody knows about it. I said, okay, fine. As a child, and I didn't get the boldness to seek comfort in a different confidence. So I believe my mother knows best. At that age, at that time, I believe she knows best. So, but I was hot.
Mm. Where was your dad when this happened?
My dad was in his room, in their own bedroom. He was fast asleep. So until his death, because he's late now, he was not informed. He had no clue of whatever.
He was never aware.
Yeah.
Your mom did not let you tell your dad
At
what
all.
happened.
At all.
Fantastic. Did it stop or it continued?
Yeah, it continued till I got to age 15, approaching 16 years. Why? Because, the following morning, he left our house. My mom ordered him to leave then. About 2 years after, I just saw him. My mom brought him back. Like, oh, he came to live with us. He had issues with his WAEC results. So my mom, being a teacher, then decided to assist, like fix him up in our own school to monitor his academic progress and all of that. And that was how it continued. And because the first event, there was no proper action against him, and I was seen as the problem.
Wow.
In fact, my mom saw me then as uh, um, a prostitute, like,
Wonderful.
oh, a wayward child, and all of that. So it was so
All the
difficult.
blames were on you.
Well, me. So it was so difficult to call her attention that, see, this is happening again. I became so timid. I lost my self-esteem. And I was suffering in silence, even in my own home.
How did he stop? At the age of 16?
He eventually stopped living with us. You understand? Eventually stopped living with us, and that was when that aspect stopped from him. But along the line between that age and 15 years, I already had another encounter, about 7 multiple rapes. Unfortunately, we're living with a guardian. She left us with a guardian, and who sent us out of the house at 10 p.m., myself and my 2 other siblings. My second sibling then was 12. My last sibling was 8. 8 approaching 9. So one thing led to another. I had to start looking for what to do. And then I found myself on the street. If I could remember, like 1, 2, 3, 4 months, I slept under shops, people's shops.
Wonderful.
If I can remember very well, I know some shops I slept under. That was at Meron, going to Castle, going to Kola. So, and then I became vulnerable some of the nights. So, aside my uncle's dilemma, I been a survivor of over 10 multiple rapes from different persons that I don't know. I can't even recognize them again.
Wonderful.
Because it happens in the dark.
You are still watching Breaking Barriers on the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Lagos Channel 10. We've been speaking with Oluwatobi Alawode. Now you know that she had actually faced serious challenges that could destroy life, but she is here today. We still have more, because we have not looked at how she got education, her relationship with her mother thereafter, how she got to a situation where she is able to set up her advocacy group. All these and more we'll get to hear after this time out. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. You're still on Breaking Barriers on the Nigerian Television Authority, and we're still speaking with Oluwatobi Alawode. Now, Toby, these challenges, rape issues over time, how will you describe what it did to your mind as a young person from age 8? Will you explain the experience?
Like people say, if you know, you know. If you've never been there before, you can talk about it. It was a time of trauma. It was a time of depression. Like I said earlier, I lost my self-esteem as a child, not even as a girl, as a child. I lost my confidence. I lost hope in myself. In fact, I began to say myself the name I was called. I saw myself as a prostitute. Yes, you are a prostitute, because if you're not a prostitute, men will not treat you this way. And I said, oh, Toby, you have a problem. And it went on, and I became a subject of ridicule to myself. I ridiculed myself. Like, nothing good can come out of this being anymore. And I see people, even children who are of my age mate, I see them as people who are better than me. Even when it shows academically, you are brilliant. But no, I will not accept that. Like, no. There's something wrong somewhere with me. Like, why? In fact, at a point, I started believing I was possessed, because those are the things that comes into my head. You are possessed, you have one evil spirit, you have something, that is why things are happening and all of that. So, and then I started thinking suicidal. Because as a child, from between age 8 and 11 going to 12, I attempted suicide as a child more than 3 times.
More than 3 times?
Yeah, in the house.
Over the years, did you ever get any therapy, any treatment?
The first time I ever spoke out was 2017. Yes, so I was silent for 21 years of my life. That was the first time I spoke out, and it was even partial exposure. My therapy started last year.
Last year?
Last year, March. When my husband came proposing and all of that, I laughed at him. And I said, I can't marry you. And he said, why? I said, because my life is full of baggages. I said, you can't cope. And he was like, why saying that? I said, because you can't. I said, I am damaged. I am totally damaged. So for you to fix that up, I don't know how you want to do it. But see, let's just be friends. And he smiled at, what is there? Probably, I said, okay. So fortunately, I never knew what I had gone through as eating deep into depression. But the first person to notice that was my pastor's wife. But when my husband came into the show, I tried to tell him, okay, I'm going through this, I've gone through this. I said, okay, let's see my family doctor. So when we met her and I explained briefly, she called him, she said, sir, please, can you cope? He said, yes, I love her. And that was how my therapy started.
Fantastic.
You see, going through therapy is like opening the wound afresh. That is just because going through therapy session, you open the wound.
You clean it
you have
up.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
You are seeing a psychiatrist, you're seeing a psychologist, you have to talk about it. We ask you questions. You go through classes, and then I'd never wanted to talk about it. At the point I was just telling him, sir, please can I go home? He said, no, let's talk about it. So the more you speak out, the more you get help, the more you get better. So at that point when I started the first class with my psychologist, I went back home crying. It was like the old thing, I was saying it happening again. And when I got home, my husband comforted me, oh, let's do this together. And even when my wedding was a week to my wedding, I almost cancelled it. I told him, you can't marry me, because I became a mental health survivor too. Mental health added to the stress. Then we are talking about depression, we're talking about emotional trauma, now mental health. I began to react irrationally, I began to be aggressive, and and at a point I was seeing my husband as a rapist. So whenever I look at his face, I was seeing faces. I was hearing voices. And thank God he was very, very understanding, and he's a father.
Wow. Going through all these circumstances, these challenges, the difficult situations, rape and all that, how were you able to get your education?
I lost my father 2 days to resume SS3 class, and it was not really, really palatable, like the experience of having just one parent. Now, we resumed back to school, and time to pay school fees, and then we realized there is a problem. My mom still in her widow's phase, couldn't go out, go to work or do anything, and it was time to pay for my senior work. She tried to gather some money together. She paid, but the school refused me writing the exam based on because I have some outstanding debts. So, but thank God for a wonderful teacher in my school, Mr. Yusuf. He was the sport master then. So, and on the first day of our exam, I can't forget. After begging and begging and begging the proprietress, please ma, okay. If I even promised, when I grow up, when I start working, I'll come and pay you. She said, no, it's not possible. It's okay. Then I gave up. So as I turned to go, then I saw my sport master, Mr. Yusuf, called me and said, oh, Raji, what happened? Your exam is then biology, I think 2.5 hours or 3 hours, because it's always biology practical. And he said, do you know 2 hours is gone? And you just have 30 minutes remaining. I said, 30 minutes. I said, sir, madam refused me entering the hall. He said, okay, wait for me, I'm coming. So I was thinking that, he's going to beg her. But he came back with a wrapper. So if you ask me what will he use that wrapper for? And he said I should come closer. And I drew closer, and he covered me with that wrapper because our school has an hostel. So he went into the hostel and brought the wrapper, covered me from head to toe with that wrapper. It was a very big wrapper, and told me to enter the hall. And he sneaked me into the hall. And that was how I wrote my work, 30 minutes to go. And I made all my papers.
After
secondary education, I got enrolled into the diploma program of Olambisi Onubanja University for mass communication, and I got interested in investigative journalism, which I was doing very, very well in school. But about 2 days to write my final exam for my diploma, I fell sick, and I was advised by my course advisor to go home and take care of myself, then come back for my exam. So getting back as a as a youth, I say, then I was in a relationship with somebody, and I went there instead of going home where I stayed with my guardian. So I went to his place, and one thing led to another, and we found out that I was pregnant.
Okay.
Then I was 19. So the shame of who do I tell? No, I don't. I can't go back to school like this. Hey, everybody will know. That mentality of everybody will know. I will be shamed. And then I had no one to tell me, no, you can still write your exam. So that was how I just abandoned that program.
Now, with the advocacy group you have set up, what have you been able to achieve? So, for how long have you set it up, and for what much have you done?
A child safety advocate in 2017 under the umbrella of Child Rights Foundation, founded by Ebenezer Semasa. Child Rights Foundation gave me the platform to build myself, and it has been really amazing. 2019 January, I started my own initiative, and that is Every Child Initiative. I decided to to implement a new strategy. Okay, we have been shouting, oh, stop rape, stop child sexual abuse on social media. We talk on the radio, on the television, but yet this thing still happens. What can we do? Then I critically look at it this way. Some of our target audience are not on social media. Some of them don't even have television in their homes. So I said, okay, so what can we do? Okay, then that was when the idea of evangelism came in. That, okay, what if I come in through house to house campaigns, going door to door, knocking their doors and telling them about child sexual abuse, preventive measures, those who are survivors, how can they get help, those who are still in the middle of that scenario, how can they come out of the mess? So in March, I set up a team, and then we had our first house-to-house campaign, which was done in our Alimosho community, Rajioba to be precise, and we were able to touch over 500 households.
You have yourself sitting, facing a girl that has gone through what you went through. What advice will you give to the girl and the family members or the parents of such a girl?
I won't tell you the journey is sweet, because I use the art of storytelling from my own experience to motivate you. I'll just tell you, if you happen to be a girl child, I'll tell you, you're beautiful, you're powerful, you can do it, you are not useless, you're worthy, you're not worthless, you can be me, you can be greater than me. You are not that situation, you are greater than that situation. I'll try as much as possible to ensure she see a better side of life. I will advise family members, parents, guardians to please, when such is noticed, speak out. Get help for the survivor. Don't say, nobody should know, because we are only looking at the immediate effect. It's a long-term thing. You can imagine, I was 8 when it happened, but look at 21 years after.
Thank you very much. In fact, this has been very much revealing. That has been the program today, Breaking Barriers on the Nigerian Television Authority. We have been speaking with Oluwatobi Olawode, and she's a strong character, and she's been able to weather the storm. And today, she's a strong role model that tells others that when you have situations, don't think about committing suicide, seek help. Yes, when you seek help, be strong, be determined, and you will overcome. Please join us same time next week for another scintillating edition of the program. I am Abayomi Dayo Adeniji. Bye now.